Alright, folks, let's talk about something that might just change your life, or at least your pocket change. Imagine this: you're going through your old coin jar, flipping through some pennies, when bam! You spot an ordinary looking 1982 penny. You think nothing of it, maybe even consider tossing it in a vending machine. But wait! What if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1.1 million. Today, we're diving deep into the world of rare pennies, specifically the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, to uncover what makes it so special, how you can identify one, and most importantly, how you might just cash in big time. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Backstory: the year was 1982. Big hair, neon fashion, and Michael Jackson's Thriller dominating the charts. But in the world of coin collecting, something sneaky was happening at the US Mint. In 1982, the Mint decided to switch from solid copper pennies, which weighed 3.11 grams, to a lighter zinc core penny coated with copper, which weighed 2.5 grams. Why? Because copper prices were skyrocketing, and let's face it, the government didn't want to be in the business of making money that was worth more than its face value. But here's where things get interesting: during this transition, a rare no-mint Mark Lincoln penny slipped into circulation. Normally, pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint would have a small P mint mark or no mint mark at all, and San Francisco and Denver coins had their respective S and D marks. But in 1982, due to an unusual die change, a very limited number of no-mint mark pennies were produced in a way that makes them incredibly valuable today. Grab a digital scale. If your 1982 penny weighs 3.11 grams, you're in business. This means it was struck on the older copper planchet and not the newer zinc core planchet. Look closely at the date. There are multiple variations of the 1982 penny, including small date and large date versions. The rare and valuable one is the 1982 no-mint Mark small date copper penny. Examine it under a magnifying glass. If the date is crisp, clean, and shows the 2 in 1982 with a distinctive curve and sharp edges, congrats, you might just have a jackpot coin. Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. Coin collectors go crazy over transitional errors like this one. When a coin that's not supposed to exist suddenly appears, it creates a numismatic frenzy. One of these rare 1982 no-mint Mark copper pennies was sold at an auction for a record-breaking $1.1 million. Why? Because it was in perfect mint condition with a high-grade certification from PCGS, one of the top grading services in the world. So, if you find one, don't just toss it back into your piggy bank, get it authenticated ASAP. Now, let me tell you a little story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, used to laugh at me for checking my coins all the time. He thought I was wasting my time. One day, he calls me up, completely panicked. He had just read about rare pennies and remembered he had a whole stash of 1982 pennies from his childhood. He finds a 1982 small date no-mint Mark copper penny. But here's the kicker. He had been using these exact pennies as poker chips for years. Can you imagine? $1 million penny sitting in a pile of pocket change, getting thrown around like it was worthless. So, there you have it, folks. The 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes, the biggest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Who knows? That penny in your couch cushion, car cup holder, or old coin jar might just be worth a life-changing amount of money. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more insane coin stories, collecting tips, and strategies coming your way. Plus, let's be honest, finding a rare penny is fun, but finding a whole stash? That's the dream, and I want to help you get there. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions about today's video. And remember, treasure is everywhere, you just have to know where to look. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if you were holding a tiny fortune? Well, today, we're diving into a coin that could make you rich, the 1988 D Lincoln penny. Yep, this little copper beauty, with its Denver mint mark, has shocked collectors by selling for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, a single penny worth more than a mansion. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for one, let's break down why this coin is so valuable, how you can identify it, and most importantly, how to cash in if you happen to find one. Stick around because I've got a wild story about my own penny hunting journey that you won't want to miss. After all, millions were minted that year, so why would just one be worth over $1 million? It all comes down to a fascinating little error known as the transition mistake. In 1988, the US Mint was in the middle of changing the design of Lincoln's portrait and the lettering on the coin. During this transition, a small batch of pennies accidentally got stamped with the wrong obverse, front, dyed one that was actually meant for the 1989 pennies. Whoops! This mix-up resulted in a very rare variety, making collectors go absolutely bananas for them. Now, let's talk about what to look for. First, check the mint mark. If it has a small d under the year 1988, you're on the right track. But here's where it gets tricky. Take a magnifying glass and inspect the word Liberty and the designer's initials FG near the Lincoln Memorial. If the font style resembles the 1989 version, congratulations! You might just have $1 million mistake in your hands. I actually learned this the hard way. A few years ago, I found an old penny while digging through my childhood coin collection. It was a 1988 D, and for a split second, I thought I hit the jackpot. I grabbed my phone, Googled everything I could, and even called a coin dealer, only to realize mine was just a regular penny. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it and a newfound obsession with rare coins. Now, if you do find one of these ultra-rare pennies, don't rush to spend it at the vending machine. First, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade, well-preserved 1988 D penny with the transition error can sell for over $1 million at auction. Even lower-graded versions can bring in a hefty amount, so it's worth the check. Inspect those pennies. You never know when you might be holding a tiny piece of history that could change your life. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post weekly about rare coins worth big money and share the best strategies for finding them. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, picture this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, looking for a couple of cents to pay for that extra sauce at the drive-thru. You grab a handful, and boom, you notice an old, slightly worn 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think, just another penny. But wait. What if I told you this tiny, copper coin could be worth $1.3 million? That's right, $1.3 million. Suddenly, that sauce seems a little less important, huh? Welcome back to the channel, where we turn pocket change into life-changing money. If you love hunting for valuable coins and learning what's actually hiding in your loose change, then hit that subscribe button because today, we're diving deep into the legendary 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Let's find out why this coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what makes it worth more than a luxury car. Well, in 1965, 1966, and 1967, the US Mint decided to stop using mint marks to prevent collectors from hoarding certain coins. The idea was to reduce coin shortages, but let's be real, collectors always find a way. Because of this, all pennies made in 1967 look the same, regardless of whether they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Now, normally, a 1967 penny is worth, well, a penny. Maybe a few cents if it's in nice condition. But there's a rare error coin that changes everything. Some 1967 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin was accidentally minted on a different type of metal. This makes them super rare. If you find one of these, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. If Lincoln's face or the lettering looks slightly doubled, you could be looking at a valuable double die error. Check Liberty and In God We Trust carefully. If the letters look shadowed or doubled, you've got a winner. Most pennies get tossed around, scraped, and forgotten in couch cushions. But if you have a 1967 penny that looks fresh, shiny, and barely touched, it could be graded as MS67 or higher by a professional grading service. And that's where the big money comes in. One of these pristine pennies sold for over $1.3 million at auction. Alright, now that you're frantically searching your piggy bank, here's how you can check if you have one of these golden ticket pennies. If you don't have one, squint really hard. Just kidding, seriously, get a magnifying glass. Any doubling or off-center stamping? That's a good sign. A normal 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you might have a rare off-metal strike. If your penny looks like it was chewed up by a raccoon, it's probably not worth millions. But if it's crisp and clean, get it graded. A few years ago, I found an old jar of pennies at my grandma's house. She said they were just old pennies, but my coin-obsessed brain had other plans. I dumped them out and started inspecting each one like I was a CSI detective. After about an hour, I found a 1967 penny that looked different. My heart was pounding. I ran to my desk, grabbed a magnifying glass, and guess what? It was just a regular penny, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Coin collecting is all about patience, knowledge, and a little luck. And hey, maybe today's the day you find that life-changing penny, so, the next time you get a 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, don't just toss it in the meh pile. Check it out. It could be worth way more than you think. And if you don't find one today, don't worry, the world is full of rare coins just waiting to be discovered. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips on finding coins worth money, strategies to get your hands on valuable pennies, and ways to turn spare change into serious cash. Also, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Alright, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your spare change? I mean really looked. Because if you've got a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny lying around, you could be sitting on a fortune. Yup, a single one of these coins has been valued at a whopping $1.4 million. And today, we're diving deep into why this little copper coin is turning heads and breaking the bank. But before we get into that, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market digging through an old tin box of random coins, thinking I might strike gold, or at least find a wheat penny. Instead, I found what I thought was just another worn-out penny. Turns out, it was a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. And while mine wasn't the jackpot coin, it did sell for a solid profit. Ever since then, I always double-check my change. And after today's video, you will too, so grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's uncover the mystery of this million-dollar penny together. The key factor is the missing mint mark. Most pennies from 1980 were produced at either the Denver Mint, with a D mint mark, or the San Francisco Mint, with an S mint mark. But every now and then, a small batch gets struck without any mint mark at all, making them super rare. Some of these were struck in error, while others were early test strikes or proof coins that never should have made it into circulation. Either way, collectors are scrambling to get their hands on one, and that's driving up the price. Alright, so you're probably wondering, do I have one of these bad boys in my pocket right now? Here's what to look for. This is the big one. Look below the date. If there's no D or S, you're in the game. The 1980 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. If you find one that looks a little different, it might be a rare error coin. Coins with crisp, detailed features and no heavy wear are worth more. Weight matters. If you've got a scale handy, weigh the penny. It should be around 3.11 grams. You're probably thinking, okay, but why would someone pay $1.4 million for a penny? Well, it all comes down to supply and demand. The combination of rarity, condition, and collector frenzy can send prices through the roof. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. If you've got a nearly perfect, uncirculated 1980 no-mint Mark penny, that's where the real money is. One in pristine condition fetched $1.4 million at auction, shocking even seasoned collectors. Here are the best places to cash in. If your coin is high grade, professional auction houses can get you the best price. eBay, Heritage Auctions, and even Facebook Marketplace have collectors searching for these gems. Reputable coin dealers can give you a fair price, though they take a cut. These events are gold mines, pun intended, for networking and selling high-value coins. Now, before you run off and sell your penny to the first person who offers you big bucks, a word of caution: scammers are everywhere. Be wary of people offering quick cash deals or asking you to send your coin without proper authentication. Always get your coin graded by a trusted source like PCGS or NGC before selling. That little penny sitting in your change jar could be worth more than your house. Crazy, right? The key takeaway? Never overlook your pocket change. You never know what hidden treasures might be in there. And now, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more coin hunting strategies and hidden gem finds coming your way. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin before, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Alright, picture this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, the kind that's been sitting on a shelf since forever. Maybe it belonged to your grandparents, or maybe it's just been collecting dust in the corner of your house. You're not expecting much, just some common coins, maybe a few wheat pennies if you're lucky. But then, bam! You spot a 1968 penny with no mint mark. Now, if you're like most people, you might think, just another penny. But what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might have one hiding in your spare change. The 1968 Lincoln penny was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, but that's expected. However, the big money version of this coin isn't just your average Philadelphia penny, it's an extremely rare error that slipped through the cracks of the US Mint. The coin should be in pristine condition, preferably uncirculated or at least near mint state, but it's just a penny. Why on earth would someone pay over $1 million for it? Well, collectors love rarity and history, and this coin has both. It's an error, meaning only a handful exist. Combine that with the mystery of how it happened, and you've got the perfect storm for an expensive collectible. One lucky collector cashed in big, with their coin selling for $1.5 million at an auction. Imagine going to a vending machine, finding a penny in the change slot, and realizing you just got a down payment for a mansion. Speaking of lucky finds, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, once made fun of me for always checking my pocket change. "Dude, it's just pennies," he'd say, shaking his head. Well, fast forward to last year, and he sends me a picture of a 1968 penny asking if it's worth anything. I almost fell out of my chair. Unfortunately, his wasn't the rare one, but now he checks every single coin he gets, just in case. The moral of the story? Never underestimate your spare change. Go through old piggy banks, jars, and even couch cushions. You never know where a valuable coin might be hiding. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. The details matter when spotting errors. If you think you have a rare coin, get it authenticated, don't clean your coins. It might seem tempting to polish them up, but cleaning can actually lower their value. That 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in your pocket could be worth life-changing money. And even if you don't find one, coin collecting is one of the coolest, most rewarding hobbies out there. Plus, next time someone calls pennies worthless, you can hit them with the $1.5 million fact bomb. But if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. Got a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, that little copper coin you probably walk past every day, could be worth $1.6 million? Sounds insane, right? But today, we're talking about the legendary 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning everyday pocket change into serious paychecks. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the rare versions, and who knows, you might just have a small fortune hiding in your couch cushions. Why is this penny so valuable? The 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions were struck. So why are some worth a whopping $1.6 million? Well, that's where things get interesting. The rarest and most valuable versions of the 1964 no-mint mark penny have unique characteristics like double die errors, off-center strikes, and sometimes even planchet mistakes. These tiny imperfections can skyrocket the value of your coin from 1 cent to a collector's dream, and let me tell you, finding one of these rare pennies is a feeling like no other. Quick story: years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through an old coin dealer's bargain bin. Most of the coins were common, but something told me to check again. And there it was, a 1964 penny with a suspicious doubling on the date. I paid a whopping 25 cents for it. Turns out, it was a double die variety worth over $500. Now, was it the $1 million one? Sadly, no. But you bet I check every 1964 penny I see now. And if you think you have a valuable 1964 penny, the condition matters a lot. Collectors are looking for coins in mint or near mint condition. If your penny has been sitting in a jar with scratches, dents, or discoloration, it may still be valuable but not top dollar. Coins graded MS65 or higher, meaning they look nearly flawless, are the ones pulling in the serious money. Demand. Rare coin collectors are always hunting for these special pennies, and that drives up the price. Auctions have seen these coins fetch 6 or even 7 figures when the right buyer comes along. So if you find one, get it authenticated and graded. You might be holding your next vacation fund. Do you have a 1964 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hiding in your pocket right now? If so, it might be time to take a closer look. And even if you don't, this just goes to show that valuable coins are out there. You just have to know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins, their values, and how to spot hidden treasures, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out, because next time, we might be talking about a coin that's sitting in your piggy bank right now, waiting to change your life. Hey everyone! Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if I'm holding a small fortune? Well, today, we're diving into a penny that could change your life, literally. Imagine buying a soda with a penny and later realizing it was worth $1.7 million. That's right, the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is making waves in the collector's world, and if you have one, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. Grab a snack, sit back, and let's unravel the mystery of this valuable penny, because after this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. The 1975 Lincoln penny is already a classic, but what makes this one so special? You see, most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so you might think, wait, aren't all 1975 pennies like this? Well, kind of, but there's a twist. This rare version has unique characteristics that set it apart, making it an ultra-rare find worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in top condition. How did this happen? Back in the day, the US Mint was churning out billions of pennies, but every once in a while, a mistake slips through the cracks. Some coins were struck on experimental planchets or had minor but significant errors that collectors go crazy for. And let's be honest, collectors will pay big money for rare finds. Just ask the person who bought a rare penny instead of a Lamborghini. Priorities, am I right? A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, looking through an old tin full of pennies. The owner was selling it for $5. I thought, why not? Maybe there's something interesting. Well, guess what? I didn't find the $1.7 million penny, but I did find a 1943 steel penny worth a few $100. And that's when I realized checking your spare change isn't just fun, it can be seriously profitable. The better the condition, the higher the value. We're talking about MS67 grades and higher, fetching the big bucks. Double dies, off-center strikes, or anything out of the ordinary. If you think you've got one, don't just toss it into a coin jar and forget about it. Get it graded. A professional coin grading service can confirm if your penny is the real deal. And if it is, well, let's just say your vacation plans might change drastically. Why is this penny worth so much? It's all about demand and rarity. Coin collectors love historical mistakes, and when there's only a handful of a certain kind, prices skyrocket. The highest known sale for a pristine 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hit $1.7 million, and experts believe that prices will only continue to climb. Never underestimate the power of a humble penny. That little copper coin in your couch cushion might just be your ticket to an early retirement. And let's be real, checking your spare change is way more exciting than scrolling through social media for the 10th time today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more hidden coin treasures and money-making strategies. And hey, if you do find a valuable penny, drop a comment below, I want to hear all about it. Hey there, coin hunters! Welcome back to the channel where we talk about hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. You ever get that feeling when you find an old penny and wonder, is this thing worth anything? Well, today, we're talking about a special one, the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. This little copper beauty has been turning heads in the collector's market, and guess what? It's valued at a whopping $1.8 million. Yeah, that's right, one single penny. Who knew a tiny, everyday coin could be worth more than a house? But before you start tearing up your couch cushions looking for loose change, let's dive into why this penny is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what makes it stand out. Stick around because I'm going to share a funny story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Rookie mistake. So, let's rewind to 1952. The US Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies, just like every other year. But the ones struck in San Francisco, the ones with that little S mint mark, are now making headlines. The reason? A few rare variations and errors that make collectors lose their minds. And now, for those who might not know, the S mint mark on a penny means it was produced in San Francisco. In 1952, San Francisco wasn't producing as many pennies as the other mints, which already gives these coins a bit of rarity. But the real jackpot comes from specific error coins and high-grade versions. Not all 1952's pennies are worth millions. In fact, a regular worn one might only fetch a few cents. But if you have a mint condition version or one with rare errors, you could be sitting on a fortune. If your penny is in MS67 or higher condition, meaning it looks practically brand new, collectors are willing to pay big bucks. There aren't many of these left because, let's be honest, people back then weren't saving pennies like they were gold. Some versions of this penny have a doubled image, meaning the design was accidentally struck twice. Look closely at the date and lettering. If it looks like it has a shadow effect, you might have a rare gem. Off-center strikes. Sometimes, the coin wasn't perfectly centered when struck, leading to a unique error. These oddities drive up value because collectors love mistakes, kind of like how typos in old books make them valuable. Pennies naturally oxidize over time, turning brown. But if yours has maintained its original red luster, it's far rarer and worth more. If your 1952's Lincoln penny is bright red and shiny, get that thing checked out. Now, let me tell you a little story about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny. A few years back, I was going through a jar of old change. I found this one penny that looked kind of odd. It was shinier than the rest, and something about the way Liberty was printed seemed different. I figured, just another penny, and tossed it into a coin roll. Fast forward a few weeks, I was watching a coin collecting video, and they were talking about rare double-die pennies. I had a sudden flashback to that shiny little coin. I ran to my stash, dug it out, and, you guessed it, it was a rare double-die Lincoln penny. Not quite $1 million find, but still worth a few $100. Lesson learned, always check your change. Okay, so you're convinced you might have a winner. Here's what to do. Make sure there's a little S under the year 1952. If it looks beat up, it's probably not worth much. If it looks pristine, it's worth checking out. Grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling on the letters or numbers. Some errors involve pennies that were struck on the wrong planchet. A standard Lincoln penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If you think you've got something special, send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The 1952's Lincoln wheat penny and why it could be hiding in your collection, just waiting to make you rich. Now, before you go diving into your piggy bank, make sure to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more awesome tips on valuable coins. You never know, your next find could be worth a small fortune. And hey, if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, let me know in the comments. I love hearing stories about lucky finds.